Okay, let's undo and then redo my makeup for the day. I am Althea Gobble. I'm an independent Saint Beauty artist, and if you are new here, please say hello. If you are rejoining and have been here for a while, please say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. I am going to be sharing some tips and tricks with Demi, so ask any questions. If you've ever heard of Demi, let me know, and if you never have, let me know as well. Love to talk to you in the comments, so please share. I applied this makeup at 6 o'clock this morning, and it is currently 6:12, so 12 hours, and actually, it looks really good. I would leave it alone. Hey, honey. Totally could wear it much longer. Very happy with it. Love how it feels. It's completely lightweight. I feel nothing on my skin, and you see no evidence of product on my skin. I could reapply something to my lips, but I would actually call it a day. So I just really wanted to share here in the evening time different lighting of putting on my makeup. So typically it's dark when I am getting ready and don't have natural light, and right now I usually don't use this much light to even get ready. I just use it for going live, but really I just use one little light, which I'll show you in just a bit, that I use in the morning to get ready. But the key is using daylight bulbs. That's really helpful. Anything yellow or a pink haze or a blue haze on it is really going to offset what you see on your skin. So to highly recommend daylight bulbs. Easily could change them in your bathroom, at your vanity, any of that, and it will change things dramatically. So you don't always have the luxury when you're working and you have to get up at when it's still dark outside. You don't get natural light, although I love getting ready with natural light. I'm going to use the Refresh wipes from Saint. I love these. I use these all the time when I'm color matching in person or in-person parties to take ladies' makeup off or to apply and reapply. I'm just going to take off half. Look at this, how red I'm getting. This is another good little tip to show you about applying Demi. I'm going to take it off. I'll have a little bit there in my eyes. I'm going to leave my brows and my mascara on. I mean, look, there's so little product on this one thing, and I still have plenty of space to take off more. So you can see how red your skin gets as soon as you touch it. Some people is a little more than others, but you always want to let your skin calm down when you're applying your makeup, especially with Demi, because you're working with color of the skin. And you can see I definitely have issues. I have very textured skin. I turned 53 this month, and so that's hard to say out loud, but I turned 53, and I have large pores on my nose. I have, of course, wrinkles. You know, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And I have scarring from acne when in my youth, and, you know, have all the things that happens with age. And so adding anything that's going to add a lot more texture to the skin, which before Demi, we really didn't have a lot of options for that. Cream is wonderful, and highly recommend you use cream if you're using liquid to powder, or use the Demi. The Demi, to me, for myself, the reason why I like it is because I have very textured skin. I was not a believer when Demi was first coming out. I thought there is absolutely no way. I remember calling some artist friends that have actually seen it and seen it in person, and I was like, look, just be honest with me. Somebody with all these issues that I felt like I had to really, really cover up. Is there any way Demi's going to work with my type of skin or customers that are like mine? And they said absolutely. And I was not a believer. Wasn't a believer when it first came out. And but I just dove in and started learning and playing around with it, and I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I wear it every day. Every day. So I'm going to let my skin calm down from being touched, and I wanted to just reapply. If you have any questions, please ask. I switched out a couple of colors in my compact, and I have everything right here that I'm using, and some of these I probably won't even use. But I love how minimal it can be. I love no fluff. I love things to be just like exactly what you need, have multiple uses, and not have to have a lot to carry or to fiddle with. That's what I've learned with these, because it's nothing but color. It gives you the freedom to do different things. If you're just using beige colors, you're really limited about what you can do with it. So it's kind of like a box of crayons. I can take an orange color and do something with an orange color in so many different ways, but I can put the orange next to a red and change everything about it. So that's one of my favorite things, is how versatile it is. Hey Sherry, how are you? I've also been playing around with a new brush, the edge brush, and to me, when I first saw it and looked at it, I thought, okay, brows you could do with, but oh my gosh, there's so much you can do with this edge brush. I really like it. So I've been using it for my under eyes because it's not super stiff, so it gives you some freedom to do a little feathering. I really like that. You can actually go in and do more with your lash line. Super versatile. I mean, lips, whatever. But I've been using it for my eyes and using this around my nose because I have, like I said, very textured nose. Please ask any questions. Hello, Jill. How are you? Did y'all go vote? Did you go vote? All right, I switched out some things in my compact because sometimes, especially on this side of my face, right here, it tends to get lavender looking, splotchy, red, and all of that. Your skin's going to change daily, so that's why I love having these options. So since it looked like when I put the orange 5 on there to add warmth, it just made it brighter pink, and I think, okay, I need to adjust my color there, and I wanted something just to tone down the pink to it where it's a little more neutralized. So I've been switched it to this OY1. You could even use the pineapple, and if you notice that my pineapple, I love the fruit punch collection, which we still have. I love this balm. I've been using this, and with this hot fluorescent pineapple with it for lips is great. You can also use this to tone down redness and that violet color on your skin, because nothing is truly red on the skin. It is usually always violet, so, or purple, and yellow is a key color for that redness, because you got to think about what causes the redness on the skin is blood flow underneath the skin, and if you can see it and it stands out to you, that means it has depth of color, and depth of color means anything with depth has blue in it, and blue and red together make purple. For something to be truly red, I was trying to find an example. For it to be truly red, it has to be hot like fire, like it would burn you to touch. And that's very rare. Sometimes you can have a super angry zit, and sometimes it's just going to be a tiniest amount of green that you would need it. But more than anything, you just need some yellows and a little bit of orange with it. All right, I am going to redo my makeup, and then I'm going to look at the new eyeshadows, and I'm going to show you a technique with eyeshadow that I like to do on myself and ladies that I do in person when they're open-minded about doing their eyeshadows a little differently, and a different kind of approach for an everyday look. Hey guys, where are y'all watching from? Have y'all heard of Demi before? I have my brow wax and I have my brow color. That's the Indigo Contour. I love using those. Been doing it for a very long time and I keep going back to it. Love the brow wax. I love how it fits in my compact. Like I said, I like things minimal. I don't like a lot of junk and things to carry to fumble with. It's all right here. So I'm left my brows on for the day. And then this is my lip conditioner that's also fitting in my compact. I applied it a few minutes ago before I went live. So it soaks into my lips and it also helps exfoliate, and it gives a good base for lip color for the day. So that also fits in our compact. It's part of our skincare. It's really, really good. This is a tile to clean off the colors in between. Highly recommend that. If you don't have one of these, you definitely need to clean off with a paper towel or something. But what I love about this is it doesn't add any lint to your brushes. And then I'll talk about the other colors as we get ready. So the first thing I'd like to do is very simple. I want to add a little bit of color using 05, and I'm using the shape brush. And I want to just add where I'm a little fair or lighter. Love Demi, hey. Oh good, I'm so glad. It's okay, I appreciate you sending them my way, but I do agree it is trial and error. When it first came out, you know, we didn't have as many people. I mean, of course, no one was doing it, and we had some sort resources, but Kara really wanted us just to kind of dive in and learn. And to me, we may have overcomplicated it at the very beginning, but right now, the key is this. You're always going to focus on adding color. And that's all I'm doing. I'm taking this, who would thought, a bright orange, onto areas where I have a lot of blue veins, and I'm using a bigger end of the brush and I'm really adding some warmth in some larger areas. On ladies that have a lot of splotchiness, or like on this side, I have to do it a little differently. I would do it, probably use a different color, use something more with a yellow, something to give a little added warmth and to help with all the fairness. Because that's usually what changes about our skin. So I'm bouncing around, I'm sorry, Brandy. The key concept is this: add color. And think about balancing color. And it's always going to be somewhere colors on your skin. And then the very, very last thing you do is worry about all the little details. Before Demi, I would focus on all the details. And it's such great satisfying to put on something and instantly cover it up and feel like, fresh start, right? With Demi, you just have to learn to ignore the things that you really want to hide immediately, right? And just think about the overall warmth and the balance of the skin. And when your eyes, it's not really learning color theory, guys, at all. It's really just training your eyes to see your skin differently. A lot of people, like the learning curve is they will try to apply this like a foundation or a concealer, and they get very frustrated because they can't get it immediately to see that immediate change. This change is going to come on you softly. Now this side right in here, I'm a little more splotchy, so I just kind of went right up here on this bone where it's very light color and just warm that up. And down on the neck, never forget this. And that's what I love about this product is its sheerness and translucency. It takes so little. Like, that's the reason why this orange color can do this on the skin, because it's so bold in pigment, but yet it goes on translucent. You don't actually see this color on the skin. You just see it as a stained glass over layers of stained glass, and we just put another color over all of these layers, and the light is going to refract differently and yield out the color that you're wanting. Okay, so it's just playing with color. And the great thing, guys, it's not permanent. You mess up, you don't like it, take it off, do it again. You don't need a slew of colors. You need just some key colors to play with. All right, and always go to things that are bright and bold first to play with, and then start adding in the others just to get a little more detail if you want it. So that's just using the 05, and sometimes I have just done the 05 and something underneath my eyes and threw on some gloss, did my eyes. I always like to do my eyes and my brows, of course, and I'm done. It actually does a whole lot, just adding a little bit of warmth to the skin. Kind of like bronzer in a way, but if you struggle wearing bronzer, if you have age spots or things like that, try to use an orange, something in that, or a bright neon yellow. Now I'm going to use this Y01 on this half of my face. This half has been a little more splotchy. Like I said, your skin can change daily. You know, skincare can do that. And I'm going to take the small end, notice small brush, matching this where the area I want to apply. And I'm just hitting some not bright red, I guess you could say. It's more of a lavender, dull area. And I just want to hit right in here. So I'm just using daylight bulbs for lighting. My husband made steak. It was so good. And he made fried potatoes in the air fryer. And then he made salad. I couldn't eat it all. I'm full as a tick, I'm telling you. I am like busting. Now I'm taking a little here, but did you see how that was a little more pink, and it was pale as well, but it had that lavender. You hear these big trucks all day long. All right, right in here, I'm just going to add a little bit there. Okay, now I am going to, sometimes I just stay with that. Now I'm going to add a little bit of definition. So all I've done right now is added some color where I'm fair, balanced, and neutralized a little bit of red, but it still dropped in a little bit of color to add some warmth to my skin. Now, if you want to, the next step is to add a little depth, plus drop in some color and fairness. I am going to use NO-1. If you have watched me before and seen any of my content, you know that I have done this with so many different colors, and they're always following the same thing. Anything with depth is going to be one of the neutrals, and you're going to drop in everything. Something with depth has a little bit of blue, and it's where you want a little added structure or sculpt or even thickness of the skin. You'd want to use those. You're always adding color with the higher saturations of colors. So it's always going to be the same theme, and that's the reason why I try to do it different ways, using different colors, showing you how it's not as hard pressed and how versatile it is. Okay, I'm going to, and it's also according to what look you want. I'm going to use the NO-1. I switched to a different shape brush. This one's the same thing as that one, it's just a black one. And I'm going to get a little bit of NO-1. To give you a concept how much I'm getting on the brush, this NO-1 I've probably had over a year. Most of these colors I've had over a year. They last so long. That's the reason why I like it, because it saves you lots of money and you get so much out of it. Now right in here, see how this little area is kind of light? I'm going to drop in some color right there and change the differentiation between light and dark just a little bit, and at the same time it's going to add a little more depth of color to that. And I like to shift my head back and forth and get like areas that needed some warmth. See where this is kind of light? I'm just going to add a little bit of color to that using that NO. -1. And I like to take it back up on that temple. And do you see how this is giving me some added structure at the same time? Then I like to take right here. And if you ever see the color, like see the color right there, that's because I went into place where I didn't need it, or I just got too much on my brush. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit on my nose. And I really struggle with my nose. Contouring using contour colors is really a challenge on my nose. I want that nice structured, and I definitely need it because I have light and dark areas on my nose. You see all of that? I can actually reduce the intensity of this here by doing something here, shortening it up a little bit. But adding a lot of added color right on my nose, like contour, kind of settles down in my pores and gets looking dirty, especially when I smile and I get the little bunny lines. It just bunches that color up. So I want to be very minimal with that color. So this is what I have been doing. I've been using the new edge brush since I have gotten it, and I really, really like it, but a very, very small brush. And I'm going to work on using a neutral NY-1, and I'm only going to balance these small little spots of really deep color first. Typically I would do the lighter ones, but here it's such small little spaces of little dots of shadow because of large pores. So I just want to balance the dark points on my nose. Plus this is a neutral. So what it's going to do, it's going to drop in a little bit, not a lot. Neutrals mean they have all primary colors in it. So that means this has blue in it. So it's going to give a little depth to it. So this is going to give me that added depth, and it's basically changing the color of the red, purple, dull, broken capillary kind of color. I guess is how you describe it. Please ask any questions. But you can see that is actually giving me some added dimension on my nose just by using that NY-1 right on top of those darker little points. You saw how little product I used, and it automatically is showing my natural shape of my nose. So I don't have to drop in a whole bunch of color to change it or to accentuate it. I just took away what was distracting away from the shape of my nose. Now, let me grab a different brush. I'm going to use the bright brush, and I am going to go back to this NO-1, and I'm going to add a little depth of color in this light area on this part of my nose. So you see when I did that on this part of my nose, this is giving added shape. So I don't actually have to go down and do anything here. I am just adding this warmth in these light areas. And you see how this is, it's a long day. Middle school teaching, and we had a lab today, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and I missed my nail appointment. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh my gosh, I got middle school brain. Oh, okay. So you can see when I did that, this is giving me structure here and helping these poor old cheeks out to be lifted back up. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll look in my little mirror. This side of my nose it's a lot more ridgy, So I am only applying to areas that are light, and notice how I'm shifting my head back and forth, just finding areas of that brightness showing up that's distracting from the shape of my nose. And you can see how that gave me structure here. So it's like a new way of thinking about contouring your nose. So I didn't actually do anything on my nose, it's to the sides. I'm going to do the same thing here, that little place right in there. That happens as we age, it gets a little more prominent. Same thing right here, this light to dark. I'm just going to add a little bit of this NO-1. Notice I'm using a tiny brush because it's a tiny area that I want to focus on. Same thing here, where it's light underneath my nose, because this grows this way as we age, or it just falls due to gravity, and it gets lighter and it makes it look longer. So I want to reduce that by adding a little bit of warmth there to get rid of that lighter skin. And see, this is already looking less prominent. I'm going to do the same thing in different little spots, and you kind of really learn these little areas on your face that are lighter. I'm going to take just a little bit of the NO-1 with a small end of this brush, these little fair areas next to my forehead. Sometimes I like to do NR there, a little bit of neutral red, and sometimes I like the NO. Sometimes I've used NY. NO minus, not the NO, but the NO-1 has been a favorite. It's very versatile on a lot of skin tones. It really, really is. Now you can see already like the balance that's coming into my face, and a little more structure, and we used so little. What colors did we use? We used 3 colors. This one, oh no, 4 colors, one on my nose, which I've really been liking that, and that's because I really like the use of this brush. All right, now I like a little warmth in my cheeks because I really don't have it, and a lot of flushing in my cheeks, and I really like that. Aren't you? I just love it. I love the change, and it happens softly. It's not dramatic, but then what I love is when ladies that I've done it on in person, and they see their before and afters, they would wait a second, do I have anything on? And then they drive home and they look at different lights, and they look in mirrors and thinking, they like, this is crazy. I said, I know. The ones that I've matched online, and they finally see how it looks on their skin, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They were shocked that I could rub orange on my face and it would do this. Now I really should try to venture out and show different colors to ladies, but you gotta do what you love. And I really love this Spellbound. It is so versatile, guys. You can wear it. It is basically, to me, RV7 and one of the Demi colors, or it's the black cherry and it's more matte. It's red violet, which makes sense because blood flow is going to be a red violet. So this Spellbound, it can be used in so many ways. You can actually get it on your lips this intense in color, or you can just do it like it's just a nice little flush to your cheeks, which I think is very pretty on everybody, and anybody I see that has naturally flushed cheeks. I'm just like, oh, it's so pretty, looks healthy, just looks pretty. So I'm going to take the wash brush. I actually have too much on my brush, so I'm going to wipe it off on a paper towel right here. All right, and you can even use a smaller brush. If you already have a couple of red spots on your cheeks, take a little brush and you just hit around it. And you can see I may have hit that little spot right there and it picked up. It's okay. That might happen. And I don't follow like a pattern. Like you see people do this, they put this up and you do that. You don't have to do that. I just kind of like want it to look like flushing skin, which doesn't have a shape to it. So like this little area right there where that vein is, I just kind of warm that up. I even done this, what's left over my brush, and I'm just going to feather right over top of that, because this is where all your capillaries and your blood vessels are in your face. So if I was painting a portrait, and in my skin tone colors that you would use, if you're painting anything in this area, you're going to drop a little bit of violet, some red violet into your paint to give that hue of flushing skin. And then if you're up in here, you're going to put either yellow or white in there to give the reflection of the bone, because this is just skin and bone, so it gives that lot of yellow white color. And then this is on women, is typically be more green shadow, so you put a little bit of green in your pigment. And then in men, it's going to be blue because of bearding and hair follicles. So taking a little bit of this and giving you a nice little flush. You got blood vessels up there. Try it out. You'll really love it. And like, this is probably going to last me 10 years because it's so pigmented. You just need a little. Now this cheek is a little different, of course, each side of your face. I have more redness right here next to that. So I just kind of steer clear of that and use it to my advantage. May not be showing up, but it is there. Then I want to take this and take a little layer. See how that just kind of warms up the skin and it just looks fleshy. That's a word, just looks fleshy. You could even take some and do it there. You could even take some and do it there. That's what I love about this, is putting onto your neck and it doesn't settle in your wrinkles, which I got some of them on that neck too. Okay, so that is like basically, besides filtering, what I would do around the face. Now let's do a little bit of eye stuff, all right? I'm going to use this new edge brush, all right? I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to use this MV+1 for my under eyes. I've done NY, I have done NO, I've done 05. The key is this, dropping in some color, okay? Every time I do MV+1, I really like it. It might be a learning curve to how to get it to applied, but you're going to take very, very little, all right? I am going to find, you see that little area there? I'm going to find light areas. So as I've aged, this gets more hollow, sunken in, so it comes up and changes the angle, and it adds more depth of color to these areas, okay? And I just want to minimize the difference between light and dark is all I'm doing. My feet are asleep. I've been sitting with my knees folded. Okay, let me put them on. They're asleep. Now they're coming back alive. So I am just going, and when I do this in the morning, I'm kind of far away from the mirror doing this. I'm never looking up close. I mean, I just don't think you need to. I think when you're learning, it's best to just kind of see it from afar. And I'm just going to add. And guys, this is going, I mean, it just blows my mind how this works. The only reason why I figured this out is just playing around. Just using the concepts. Okay, I wonder if I add color in. Staying away from that little red area. I don't know what that is. It came up and it might be, I don't know. We'll filter it out. Notice I'm not going to be bothered by it. I've just learned to ignore all those little details because I know they're going to disappear when I get to it. Do you see what that is doing? Already this little dark area is not as dark after adding in a little bit of color right next to it in those areas. I mean, throw your concealer out. Don't put any more light color there. I like to smile and kind of get like different little angles. And if you happen to see the product on the skin, it's just mean you got heavy-handed. It's okay. I'm staying away from the wrinkles. I'm not putting it into a wrinkle because that's just going to make it darker. All right, now this eye is a little differently, and it's got some different, see that little ridge there? Okay, so I kind of smile and I get the little ridges. See how you can see it? Okay, that means I got too much of my brush. It's all right. And you just learn to be a little light-handed and feather it just a little bit. This brush makes it super easy to feather, okay? So when I painted murals for many years, I will eventually get back to it. This is the type of brush that I use for the majority. It'd be on a larger scale though. I love those and the angle brushes. I could get more work done with those than something rounded. It's according to what you're doing, but I could get a lot of work done with those edge brushes. See that? Is that not crazy? And it doesn't look like a black eye. You look at that thinking, that's going to look like a black eye, but it really doesn't. It's because it's translucent. The higher the saturation, because this is translucent, it's just changing the direction of the light. Now I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to use another bright brush. Probably need to keep the brushes out here that I used to help you out. This is just a bright brush. I just have a different one because I'm lazy and don't want to clean it off. And I just use the same one for the same concept. I'm going to show you how I use the NV+1. You can start seeing the 10 there. I ain't sweating it. I still got lots of product there. And I can do this same concept with NV+1. Do you see this really deep purple that I already have there? Well, I'm just going to use it to my advantage and use it as my sculpt and stay off that exact color and hitting the areas around it to give me more of depth above my eye. Instead of applying it like an eyeshadow, which is going to do nothing but crease on my eye anyway, I just want to change the direction of the light and sculpt out my eye. See that? See, it's just like, and it looks like I have eyeshadow on every time. People say, what color eyeshadow have you got on? Well, it's not really. I'm just adding a little bit of this depth of color, and then sometimes I'll intensify like these blood vessels right here with like Spellbound or something like that. And I'm just using the colors that are already on my skin. Now I like to take it and give that little bit of depth underneath my eye. And I like to use this soft brush because it applies it so minimal. Minimal is key. I'm going to do the same thing over here. See, this one comes down. This one comes down a little further. It's a little vein there. But I'm just going to use it to my advantage. And this part of my nose, as we age, gets a little wider. So I'm taking like what's left on my brush and just gently adding a little bit of that shadow right there as well. And notice how I'm touching the tint. It's like a super loose hand. Then this comes down a little further. Sometimes it's a little more wrinkly, especially in the morning, I guess because I'm sleeping on it, but there's more of a wrinkle on the side. I just really want to hit the top of that wrinkle and kind of stay away from the depth of the wrinkle, and because it's just going to look darker, and Lord help me, we don't want that. Oh, I love it. So easy. I'm going to take a little here. Just a little. Now see what happened? I hit a freckle right there and it got darker. Just right there at the bottom. You can also take what's left on your brush here and this part of your lip, adding a little bit of depth to it right in here because the lip has fallen down, and I can smile and you get little angles. Now I have lines around my mouth, so I don't want to get into any of that business. I'm just adding a little depth and shape right in that little area, doing that same concept in the light area. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little staining to my lips. taking a little bit of this Spellbound, and I'm just going to lightly stain my lids. See, it takes so little, and I like using a brush and just hit the high points. Then I like to take pineapple right in the center. And it kind of creates this very, looks like an intensified of my lip color. Love it. And now, besides filtering, I'm done. So I'm going to do a little bit of filtering, and I always start with what's the darkest and the most distracting. So usually it's around your eyes. So let's start there. I'm going to start with anything with depth of color with 03 and a little tiny brush. And that's usually right in here. You could probably use the edge brush for this as well. Okay, I haven't tried that, but I know you can. This little one, I know that's red, but I don't want to remove all the color, so I'm going to take the depth of color away just by using 03. Okay, that's fine. If I put something there to remove red, then it's going to remove the red that I want to leave. I just want to take the depth out. And O takes away depth, because O is orange, depth is blue. So anything with depth. So right in here, in that little crease, there we go, totally fine. There's a dark blue vein there, and you quickly learn, just like any other method of what you do for your get ready routine, you quickly learn, like, all right, I do this, you do the same thing, or you just learn really quickly what the colors that you like to use for certain areas. Now this one's a little more tricky than the other side, but you just stay minimal, stay small. And did you notice I worked with larger brushes and worked my way down to a small brush? You could probably do everything with a small brush, to be honest with you. And that little vein, just getting the depth of the color of that shadow of that vein. Just hitting things with depth of color. Now that looks like it's red, but I don't want to remove like all the color, because the color around it has depth of color. Hello, Olivia. And how are you? What you doing? So I don't want to remove all the color, because nothing around it. I added color, so I just want to take away the depth. And depth is always blue, so only use the orange. You're just the queen. You're hilarious. I'm going to get a hold of you and put it on. I'm going to put it on you. Right? You going to let me? So do you see right here in that little deep crease? Notice I put a little added color there earlier. So now, yes, I'll teach you. Love to. And then I'll hold the baby and you can put it on me. All right in here, these little age spots, these little dark points, I would always just try 03 and get rid of the depth of the age spot. Don't try to cover the age spot up. You just want to take away the depth of color, and if you get too much, you just tap it away a little bit. The key is a little brush, and I think it's best to be blind when you're doing it. Don't be zeroed in and try to identify every little thing. just first work on the darkest point. So I think if you're a little bit blind, it's better. Because you don't get so zeroed in and thinking you have to touch and identify every little color in there, because it's not the case. So you have a blue vein that goes up in there. I don't follow the blue vein like a train track. We just want to just kind of dot it, because that vein does not go straight across into your skin in a straight line. That vein is curly and swirly, so you're only hitting the little humps that shows through on the skin. So just a couple little dots. Basically, it's like you're pixelating color on the skin, really, truly, is what you're doing. And a little bit of these wonderful little lines around the top of my lip. Well, I'm not going to follow the line, but really what it ends up being is there's a dark point inside of that. So it's just a couple of dark freckles, and I'm just going to filter out the freckles that are in there. And once I just take a couple, you see how quick, I'm just doing a couple of dots, very little bit of product on my skin, and instantly the lines on my lips are still there, but the texture has been minimized. So minimized. I'll get it right in a minute. But I would say, I could continue doing like little detail, like here, let's do this. I can't help myself, let's do this one. Red 1. Anything red, anything pink is going to remove absolutely everything that has evidence of pigment in it. So it's always going to give you the most removal of pigment. So you want to use it very lightly and very minimal. You don't want to be using this on large age spots or anything like that. Only to remove in a certain area where you want most of the color gone. So I like to do it just right in here. There's a couple of little dull, not so cute anymore freckles. Just right here. And the reason why I'm going to do it right there, if you can see what happened, it gave more roundness to my cheek. Because think of it like an apple. When you're painting or coloring an apple, the things around the edge, you want really, really dark. And you want a lot of depth, okay? And then as it comes around, you want all the color. And then right in the very front of it, you want that little fleck of reflection. And that's what gives it roundness. And that's what gives that 3D that we know it's round. So right here where the sun hits, we get a lot of little sun damage right here. And typically we don't realize it, that's what it was. Also, our skin starts collapsing as you age, and it goes like this and it folds like curtains. So it makes these little minute, little tiny little folds of pigment. So I am just going to dot that little red on there, and it is going, and see on this side it's a little different because it's sunken. It went here, and it's more right in here. It's more just in this spot is where I have all of this skin has folded this way. So you just kind of look at each one where that area is at, and you see how that is much more rounder and fuller. So yes, you can change the look of the texture on your skin by taking care of the color. You cannot change the texture of your skin by using primers and things like that. You're just adding more stuff. So that's why I really love using this translucent product to change the direction of light as it goes through my skin, and also at the same time is taking care of a lot of the look and the shadows and the depth of texture. All right, guys, I am all done. All finished. Now, I could do a little bit of eyeshadow with you. I think I'm going to wait and do that tomorrow because I wanted to show you how to use this. I think it's called Dream. This is in the new bundle that we got. Dream is a really pretty color to use. I love all of the mattes, all of these. And I wanted to show you how you can use Dream very much like we did with the Envy Plus One. All right, if you have any questions, please send them my way. If you wish to be color matched, you can go to yes.outtherematchme.com. When you get color matched by me, love you too. what time is it now? Probably 6 o'clock. See, tomorrow is Wednesday. Yes, 6 o'clock. My brain's fried. I've got a science fair going on and organizing the science fair at school, and all the kids' projects and all the things they're doing has really frazzled my brain, and I forgot what today is. Yeah, I even forgot my nail appointment. My poor nail girl. She's so sweet. I felt so bad. So, oh my gosh, I forgot. But now, see, what was I saying? Oh, when you get, hey honey, Olivia, there's Mike, if you're still on here. Mike, there's Olivia, say hello. If you wish to be color matched, you can go to yes.outtherematchme.com. Crack me up. There, that's Mike. He fixed steak and potatoes tonight and salad. I saw that Austin was playing. She's my ditto. I saw Austin is playing in some pottery. He is a man of many trades. Mike, has the cat got your finger? There's Bob. He's got big old thumbs. It's hard for him to work them little bitty icons. Yes, he is. Oh, yes, Austin is. He's sweet. I love it. Very talented fella. Both of you are. I'm like, yeah, it's Barney 5. He's got one bullet in his pocket. Love it. All right, so if you want to be color matched, you just go to yes.outtherematchme.com, and when you get color matched by me, you get graphics. Okay, thank you, Olivia. So glad you stopped by. Love you too. You'll get graphics, and you'll get video clips that are specific to you. It takes me some time, but I really love to do it for my ladies because it really seems to help them and it makes them feel confident to try something new, so it's worth the work. So if you want to be color matched, just go to my link, yes.outtherematchme.com. It's also in my bio, and I'd be glad to help you. Or just grab some of these colors and join me and have fun in it. You can go to outtheregobble.com and grab some of those. All right. Yay. Oh, I hope it helps. Thank you so much. I really do hope it helps. I'm glad you're here. And, oh, you're talking about the graphics and the video. Sorry. Yes. I enjoy doing it, and I feel like it's really beneficial to ladies. Because it's such a different concept. I do it for my 3D ladies as well when they are wanting the 3D match, and I just feel like it takes the load off and really helps them to feel confident in trying something, because especially if I can't get a hold of you in person, that's the next best thing I can do is to be there for you and help you to have fun with it. I appreciate y'all joining in. If you can share this with your friends, I would appreciate it. And now I'm going to jump over into Facebook. We have a little giveaway going on. All right, talk to you later, guys. Thanks for joining.